Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. In today's session, the postures we go through will help flexibility and strength of the hamstring. Challenging the legs with balance while improving mobility will give you the results you're looking for. Let's get started. All right, we're going to start on our backs. Let's turn our palms up. Walk your shoulders away from your ears. Go ahead and close your eyes if you're comfortable to do so. And just let your legs be heavy on the mat and just let them fall open. We're going to tune into our breath. And as we do so, just do a little check-in with the body. Starting at the feet and the calf area, feel the connection to the floor, your mat, moving up the legs to the hips. I want you to really check in with the low back and the hip area. Is there any tension? As you breathe in and out, feel the rise and the fall of the belly, moving up into the chest and back. Feel the rise of the chest and the relaxation of the shoulders with each breath. Moving up into the neck and down the arms. Feel the arms become a little more relaxed and falling open more, the chest relaxing, the head supported on the mat. Check in even with the face and the top of the head. Feel the skin. Feel the muscles relaxing. Let the brow relax and unfurrow. Take another deep breath in through the nose and let it out through the nose. And then go ahead and bend the knees and place the feet flat on the floor. And then untuck the hips so you can push that low back into the mat. You can open your eyes or leave them closed if you want. And then take your arms and reach them gently over your head. Check in with the shoulders, maybe do a little reach with one arm and then the other. Checking in again with the back and the hips. And then slowly, let's bring the hands next to the body, this time placing those palms down. And with the feet flat on the floor, about hip distance apart, I want you to do a little rotation of the hips so your back arches, just slightly. And then slowly rotate the hips the opposite way so your back goes into the mat. And then again, rotate up so you get a little space if you were to put your hands under the low back. And then rotate those hips so the back goes back down. Good. Continue that very gentle, subtle movement. Just feeling what's going on in that low back. Maybe the hips, maybe the glutes as you rotate those hips. See what you feel. Couple more times. Pushing that back into the mat and then arching it again. And then last time, let's push the back into the mat and feel the belly pushing into the spine. And then when it's there, I want you to take a deep breath in. You're going to fill the belly with, feel it rise. And then as you exhale, feel the belly button pushing in and up, pushing the air out. And then relax slightly, get a slight neutral spine there, not pushing the back down anymore. Excellent. Now you're going to gently pull the right knee towards the chest, but not squeeze it super hard. Keep your back comfortable. Maybe your belly goes a little tighter. And then pull the left knee in as well. So you're not squeezing them really tight. Just keep a little relaxed, low back, and then start to draw circles with the knees. So you're drawing circles, massaging out that low back. So we're gently warming up the core and the low back. And then as we move through our practice today, we're really going to get into some of the connective tissue, the muscles of the legs that attach up into the hips that affect our low back, and then change direction on the circle with your knees. And of course, the upper body as well. will be moving and stretching and twisting. So you'll just feel wonderful at the end. One more circle. And then a little gentle squeeze with the knees to the belly. And then go ahead and place your left foot on the floor. Slide your hands behind your right thigh. Flex your right foot and then press your right heel to the sky. And then bend the knee, give it a slight hug into the chest, and then press the heel up and then hug it in. So we're just getting a little movement through the knees, warming up those knees. Knee warm up, flex and straighten. See if you can go a little straighter each time. Again, letting those hamstrings know, and the calf. Press that heel up, and then bend the knee, hug it in. And just notice each time you might get a little further. You want it to feel good, not overstretch. Last one. And then stretch it up, and then hold it, and then rotate the ankle. Big circles. Rotate, rotate. Notice that calf of that right ankle, or right lower leg. Let's change direction of that rotation of the ankle. And feeling it all the way up and down that leg. One more. Flex that foot. Really push that heel to the sky. Pull those toes towards your eyeballs. Flex them like you're connecting them. And then release that leg all the way back to the floor. Go ahead and hug the left knee towards your chest. Feel the difference in that low back as you hug the left knee. Flex your left foot. Press the heel up to the sky. Bend the knee. So you're slowly working into that knee mobility and flexibility up and down. So depending on what you have going on in that knee, if it hurts to straighten it all the way, just be gentle with the knee on how far you can go. Maybe you've had a knee injury in the past and you're just slowly working into your flexibility, or maybe you're just really tight in the hamstrings, which we're going to work on, getting that flexibility up. Flex that foot. Really lengthen. You might feel it in the calf as you straighten out that leg. Everybody has different areas they're tight, so we're just going to try to get both. Get all those areas. One more, straighten and bend. Then we're going to straighten up after the last one. Hold it up to the sky and rotate that ankle. Check in with the calf. How's that feel? Feels good. Maybe you get a little more mobility in the ankle, and then let's change direction on that ankle. Rotate the other way. Shoulders are relaxed. And then flex the foot. Feel that lengthening. Remember those toes? You're looking at them, they're trying to pull toward your eyes. And then go ahead and release that foot all the way to the floor. And then do a little gentle rock with those hips again. And notice the difference. Is it easier? Feel a little less tension in that low back. So you're rotating the hips up so the back comes off the floor, a little arch, and then rotate them again, pelvic tilt, so your low back goes into the mat. Back and forth. One more time with that hip pelvic tilt. And now push your back into the mat, push that belly in. So we're going to do a little bit of a core warm-up, warming up through that inner muscle. So I want you to bring your right knee to a 90-degree angle. Place your right hand on the front of the thigh, right below the knee. Push your back into the mat. Now this might be plenty for you. If you want more of a challenge, bring your left knee up to 90 degree. Place your hand on the thigh. So a little pressure pushing into your thighs, but your shoulders are relaxed. Pull those shoulders away from the ears. Now you're going to feel your belly pushing into your low back and your low back pushing into the floor. Now, if you feel like your knees are coming towards your chest, try to bring them right over the hips. Now, as you come out with the knees directly over the hips, if your back starts to arch, pull the knees in closer so that your back doesn't arch. We want to keep that back down at all times. Now, I'm going to have you tap the right foot to the floor and then bring it back up. But while the whole time you're adding pressure with the opposite hand, opposite knee. So then the left, so press into the thighs. and then lower the right knee, bring it back up, keep pressing, then lower the left. Hands are pressing into the thighs as they come up. So you're gonna feel that all the way into the belly. Make sure you're not going into the shoulders. Really push those shoulders away from the ears. This is a great one for transverse abdominis, that lower abdominal girdle area. Couple more, tap and press, tap and press, press and tap, both ways. And you want to feel, you might be feeling like you're getting warm because you are right from our core, the center, main part of our body that helps all of our mobility as we move about our day. I want you to do 2 more each leg. Keep on marching. And if it's too much pressure again on that back, don't push the hands into the thighs. 1 more each. Now do a gentle hug of the knees and rock side to side. So hopefully you're nice and warm now. Go ahead and place both feet on the floor. Bring the feet and knees together. Bring your arms to cactus arms. So the palms are up, elbows are bent 90 degrees, and then drop both knees to your right and look to the left. And just breathe here. I want you to slowly bring your knees up. Turn your head all the way to the other side and drop the knees to the left. So you're just twisting the opposite way. One more breath. Then bringing your head to neutral, bring the knees all the way up. Shift your hips back to neutral. Little hip tilts up and down again. Feels so good. Now, we're going to bring our knees into the chest. Now you are welcome to roll to your side to come up, or you can roll holding on to the knees and roll all the way up, and then transition to hands and knees. And you might want to do a little mini cat-cow here, pushing into the tops of the feet, up and down. Just see how, again, that low back, how the hips feel. Doesn't that feel nice? Relax those shoulders. Now from here, you're going to take your right foot and you're going to bring it forward between your hands. Now this is where you might, if you struggle getting down there to the floor, feel free to use a block at any height to assist on the next variation, because we're also going to get into those hamstrings. So from here, you're just going to do a gentle rock with those hips, forward and back. And as you rock forward, make sure the knee is over the ankle. Press and release. Now you're going to shift backwards and you're going to pull the toe up. We're not sitting on the heel though. And I want you to do a gentle press the gas pedal with that right foot and then pull it up. Flex and point right through that right ankle, holding onto the floor. And again, if you can't get the hands to the floor, this is where you'd put a couple blocks under those hands. And gently rock. So getting into those hamstrings. And then go and bend the knee, that right knee, hinge forward. Maybe walk up a little higher onto that thigh. Make sure you're not putting hands on the knees, hands on the thighs. And just a gentle rock into the hip and then lift tall above the hip. The whole body is straight up. And then slide that hip forward. We're going to keep adding on to this. If you need anything under the knee, feel free. Push into the top of your left foot to take pressure off of the left knee. Then open up the arms to cactus arms. Now you're going to take that left elbow and you're going to hinge forward and reach to that left knee. Just a nice, gentle twist. 2 more. Hinging into it. Excellent. Now we're going to take it the opposite way. Right elbow, bringing it on the inside of that right knee. And making sure you're not having any knee pain. You're not pushing that knee over the toe. 1 more. And then coming all the way up. Go ahead and bring your hands down to the floor. Straighten out that front leg, that right front leg. Hinging back again. And a little pump with that front leg. Now I want you to flex the foot, pull the toe up, and shift your hips gently side to side. Notice what's going on. Is it more hamstring or calf here? Everybody's a little different. And then we're going to point the toe, bring that knee forward. Go ahead and bring the hands on the inside. Step back into our tabletop. Hands under shoulders and drop the hips gently side to side. Find your center. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, bring your left foot forward and then hinge again. Forward and back. And as you go forward, make sure that knee is over that ankle. Bring that foot forward if you need to. So you're sliding your hips in front of your right knee. Pushing into your right top of your foot so you take that pressure off of that right knee. Now let's hinge backwards. So your hips are going back towards your heel but not all the way down. And then just point and flex that left foot. Pull the toes up, point the toes towards the front of your mat. Working through stretching out the hamstring and the calf. Letting them know there's a dynamic movement. Letting the body know we're going to go deeper. One more time, now I want you to pull those toes up. Feel that nice stretch. Hamstring, calf. And then bend the knee, slide your hips forward, walk your hands up the thigh. And a gentle press into the hips forward. Let's bring the hands up. Cactus arms. Bring your right elbow as you hinge forward to the left knee. Then bring the body straight up and down so your hips are over the knee. Then slide your hips in front of that right hip, the hips in front of the right knee, and then come back up. So as you hinge forward, you rotate that right elbow to left knee. Rotate. Just feeling that nice stretch, that rotation through the hip. Maybe the back, maybe the chest. One more, and we're going to change sides. So now left elbow slides inside of the left knee as you hinge forward. And then rotate. Almost there. Give me two more. One more. Excellent. Come all the way up. Let's bring the hands to the floor. Slide those hips back again over the heel, staying high. And then just shift those hips. Flex the foot. The left toes come up. And then just shift your hips gently side to side. And notice the difference. You can point and flex, make adjustments. And then bend that front knee. Bring the hands on the inside of the left knee. And come back to tabletop. Spread out those fingers. Tuck those toes under. Let's find our downward facing dog. So you're just going to lift the hips and we're going to pedal out those feet. Walk your dog. Shift those hips. Check in with the hamstring and the calf here. Really shift those hips side to side as you pedal it out. You might even get some snap, crackle, pop. Feel that chest gently pulling closer and closer to those thighs. Pressing into the fingertips and the palms, looking back at your knees or your ankles. Spreading out those fingertips. And then let's melt into our downward facing dog. Really soften those knees. Bend them more. If you have any low back pain, you want to bend those knees. You don't have to get your heels to the floor. My heels don't go to the floor. Draw that chest towards the thighs, press into those fingertips. Some days my heels get a lot closer to the floor. Again, it depends on what you've done. If I've gone for a run, or I'm hiking, or lifting a little heavier weights. Let your head hang heavy. Check in with your breath. Feel your strength, your power. Lift that tailbone a little higher. Then rise up into the toes. And then rise lower back to the heels. Let's take a walk. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Line up your toes about hip distance apart and just hold the elbows and shift your body side to side. Check in with those hamstrings, the calves. And then find your center. Let the arms just hang. Place your hands on the shins. Let's lengthen flat back. Pull the ears and the shoulders apart. Hold that flat back. Breathing in and out. Shift those hips just a little further backwards. Pushing through the back of the knees. Take another breath in. And then exhale, fold. Soften the knees and inhale. Rise all the way up. Slight back bend. Exhale, palms to heart space. And then release to mountain. Relax those shoulders. Move the neck and the head. Check in with the body. Feel those toes on the floor, the heels. You're in your mountain, your Tadasana. Take a deep breath in. Reach the arms up. And then exhale, reach to the right. Side bend. Just feel that nice stretch up the left side of the body. Couple breaths here. Feel the arches of the feet. Soften the knees. Lengthen through the neck. On your next inhale, let's rise up. And then exhale to the other side, shifting your hips away from your arms. Feel the difference on the sides. Check in with the arches of your feet. They're pressed into the floor. The knees are soft. Neck is long. You're breathing. Let's come back all the way up and inhale. Exhale, palms to heart space. Pull those shoulders away from the ears. Find that mountain. Open up. Go ahead, take a breath in, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms behind the back. Interlace those fingers, open up that chest. You're welcome to stay here, or you can add a forward fold with your chest expansion. And just breathe. Let your head hang heavy. Soften the knees. Start to roll yourself all the way up. Releasing the hands when you come to the top and inhale all the way to the sky. Exhale, palms to heart space. And relax back to mountain. Excellent. Now, shake it out a bit. We're going to go to pyramids, but you're going to start with your left foot back and just step maybe a little more than maybe a foot or two, not quite even 2 feet. Both legs are straight, both toes are pointing forward, but don't be on a balance beam because then you get too wobbly. Have the feet a little apart so you can really play around and keep that balance. Now your hips, place your hands on your hips and turn both hips to face the front of your mat. So think about headlights of a car, both facing forward. Good. Open up the chest. Keep those hands on the hips. Start to hinge at those hips. Drawing your belly towards your thigh, your crown of your head towards the front of your mat, way out past it. When you get to feel those hamstrings, pause for a moment and then slowly lower a little bit more. Now, option to have your hands on your thighs, maybe your shins, blocks on the floor, or your hands on the floor, and then let your head start to melt toward your knee. See if you can get your nose or your forehead towards your knee. Now we're just going to hang out here and breathe. I want you to check in with the hips and rotate or rock your body very gently left and right. So you're rotating through the hips. You're going to feel it through the back of that front right thigh, the back of the thigh, the hamstring. If you get any nerve zingers, I call them, in your feet, that's probably from your back, and maybe you want to flatten out your back a little more and not round so much. That's an option. Just pay attention to what you have going on in your body. And maybe if you want to go a little deeper, what you do is you hold onto the shin or your blocks or the floor and you flatten out and lift the back up just slightly. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, melt a little closer towards your knee. Let your body weight lower down. Let gravity assist. Wiggle those right toes, wiggle the left toes. Now I want you to slowly start to walk your hands up the thighs, all the way up, nice and slow. Keep the balance. That's a challenge right there. Excellent. We're going to bring the arms all the way up to the sky and bend into that front knee. Now you're going to have a super short stance here. So I want you to take your left foot and step it further back so you can go a little deeper and find your warrior one. Now check in with the hips. Maybe they opened up a little because you stepped back with that left foot. So keep them facing the front. Rotate, check in with the left calf. Bend into that front knee. Now we're working on the hip flexor of that left side. Draw your thumbs towards the back of the mat and just breathe. Now you're going to bring your hands to cactus arms again. Bring the arms out wide. Now I want you to twist towards your left, towards the side. Basically you're twisting towards that back left foot. And I want you to take that left foot and step further towards the back of your mat and open up the foot like an L. So you're bending into that front right knee. So the knee and the toe are forward to the front of the mat. The left foot is facing forward towards like the side of the mat. Now I want you to turn your hips away from that front knee. So you're flat and your body is straight up. Now let's extend the arms to the front and back of the mat. Warrior two, bend deeper into that right knee. Maybe inch those toes. So this is where I want you to make inching movements with the toes. Maybe bend or sink deeper into that front right knee. Lower those shoulders, reach, reach, reach. Check in with the body, what's going on? And breathe. Sink a little deeper. You can do this. Bring those palms to heart space. We're going to straighten out the front leg, that right leg. Pivot the feet to warrior 2 feet towards the back of your mat, and then slowly lower yourself to the back of your mat. And then bring both feet together to your forward fold at the back of your mat. Feel the rush or feel what's going on in the legs. Take a half lift. Inhale, flatten out the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, palms to heart space. Bring the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Open up. Lift the toes and then place the toes back on the floor. Option, add your forward fold. Head to knees, arms up. Take a deep breath in. Soften the knees. Start to roll yourself all the way back up. Release the fingertips at the top. Big shoulder rolls. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Soften and rise. Lift all the way up, palms to heart space. Find your mountain. This time we're going to take the right leg back. Find your pyramid. The feet are apart. And relax. Good. Check in with the hips again. Hands on the hips, both hips now facing the back of your mat like headlights of the car. Start to hinge forward, checking in with that hamstring on the left front of that thigh. Once you get there, pause when you can feel the back of the leg. Lower when you're ready. Hands to the floor, maybe hands to shin or blocks on the floor. And when you get down here, shift those hips gently side to side. And now, can you tell which hamstring is tighter? Does one side talk to you more? Maybe it's more your calf. Little shift. And then find your center with your hips. Lengthen through the back. Lift slightly. Maybe you're on your shin, blocks, floor. And then exhale, fold into it a little deeper. Soften those knees. When we soften that left knee, you can really feel the lengthening. Hips relaxed. We're going to bend slightly into that front knee and walk yourself all the way up the thigh. All the way up. Take that right foot slightly back, finding our warrior one facing the back of the mat. Now check in with the hips again. They might have opened. Both hips pointing to the front. Adjust those feet. Thumbs up towards the back. I want you to pause and hold here for a moment. Just breathe through it. Feel that right hip opening up. Feel the right outer edge of your right foot pressing into the floor. Let's bring the hands to cactus arms. Bring the arms open. Twist towards your right. So towards that right back leg. Check in with your left knee. Don't let it drop in. Good. Step further back and open up that right foot. Find your warrior two legs. Feet are like an L. Hips are open, not facing the front of the mat anymore. Now your hips are facing sideways. Draw your shoulders down and look over those front left fingertips. Melt a little deeper into it. Maybe inch the feet forward or back. And breathe. Enjoy those legs. How are they feeling? Excellent. Now while you're here, I want you to take a side angle. I know we didn't do it at the front yet. We'll get there. Reach that right arm over your head towards the back of the mat. Really lengthen. Good. And then come back to warrior two. Now I want you to straighten both legs, bring the palms to heart space. Pivot your feet so you go back to warrior two to the front of your mat. Bend into it. Relax your shoulders. Find your side angle towards the front of the mat. Forearm to the thigh. Really reach it. Send it forward. Send that left arm way over your ear to the front of your mat. And then very slowly coming back to warrior two. Pivot to the back of your mat again. Back to warrior two to the back. We're going to take our side angle again. Reach the right arm over. Now option, you can stay here. Another option is you can bring your right hand behind your back and you can even slide your left hand to the floor. If you would like to bind, you can reach under and grab hold. Optional. This is a little more advanced. Variation. You are welcome to keep your hand on the floor, hand behind the back, or you can even reach your right arm up. Again, optional. I just give variations. You can even have your hand on your hip. And then slowly, we're going to come out of our warrior two, lifting up, pivot back to the front of your mat. I'm sliding. Adjust your feet so you're safe and not sliding. Extend those arms. Find your side angle to the front of the mat. Yes. Reaching that left arm over. Now option again, take your left hand behind your back, lower down if you would like, and you can even put your hand on a block, or you can bind behind. One side might be doable and easier than the other. It's optional. Either way, hand on the floor, or you can even have your arm up. And then we're going to come all the way back up. Bring their palms together. Melt back into the warrior two to the front of your mat. So then I want you to just gently relax your hands to the front. Step back to plank. Find your strength. Breathe. Press into the back of those heels. Lift the hips just slightly so you really engage that core. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Relax those shoulders. One more breath in. Squeeze your thighs nice and tight, and then exhale, slowly lower your body towards the floor, Chaturanga. Use those muscles in the arms. Try to hover right above the floor. You're welcome to be on your knees, and then lower your belly. Untuck your toes. Slide your hands next to your chest or rib cage. Gently press up to an upward facing dog. And you can be unsupported on your thighs or unsupported off of your thighs. Just a couple breaths here, minding your low back. If it's too much, stay on your thighs or stay lower in a cobra. Knees to the floor, tuck your toes. Underneath, start to shift like you're going to go into a cat stretch round through the back. Good, good, good. Start to hinge your hips toward your heels just slightly. Really lengthen through the front arms. Spread out the fingers. Nice exhale. Press through the toes. Start to lift your knees off the floor. Shift to your downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Shift your hips. Good. Melt your heels to the floor. Draw your chest to your thighs. Really lengthening. And breathe. Draw up into the toes, back into the heels. Now you're going to lift your right leg all the way up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee. Kick the foot between your hands. Bring your fingertips in front of those right toes. Now, option here is to use a block, but I want you to kick straight up off the back floor. Soften your right knee. This is our balance, finding our warrior 3 with strength. Drop your left hip and lift that left leg. Flex your foot. Embrace the shakiness. Bring the hands back by the hips and thumbs to the floor. Palms face the body. Really lengthen through the neck and the crown of the head. Level out those hips a little more. Wobbliness. And then take your hands to the floor. Head to the knee, leg comes up. Left leg up, split stance. Now I want you to point your left toe, bend the knee, bring the knees to tap, and then extend that left leg back up. And then bring the knee, bend the left knee, tap the knees together, extend the left leg up, knees tap, extend the left leg up, one more time, extend the left leg up, soften the knee. Now we're going to try your leg strength one more time. Straighten your leg, left leg to the back of your mat, level out your hips, drop your left hip. Lift enough to come to airplane arms, arms out to the side. Really lengthen. Our hamstrings, everything's warmed up. The glutes, find your strength. And then forward fold. Bring the feet together, forward fold. And breathe. Bend your knees, place your feet, your hands on the floor. Step back to plank or hop. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. We're moving through these slowly because I want you to really embrace the muscles of the body. Tighten up your thighs, squeeze them, lift your hips slightly. Exhale, Chaturanga. Belly to the floor, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Spread out those fingers. Relax those shoulders. I know that was a little intense, but I wanted to make sure we've had such a nice, gentle flow to each of these postures, just getting a little deeper into it. But we need to, as we melt and relax the muscles and lengthen them, we need to challenge them as well. So I want you to bend your left knee and bring it to the sky. Three-legged dog. Press your right heel into the floor, bend the left knee, kick the foot between your hands. I know you're ready for the other side. I can feel the excitement already. Lift off, kick that back foot off the floor. Find your balance. And again, use blocks if you need to. Maybe that's plenty. Lifting up if you can, reaching the arms out in front of you. Level out your hips. Bring your right hip down, flex your right foot. Now, one side might be more challenging than the other. Bring your hands back by your hips. Pull the shoulders away from your ears. This way you can get into the core a little more. Ooh, and this is my wobbly side. Then bring your hands to the floor, split stance. Bring your head to the knee, lift your right leg. Bend your right knee. Pull the knees together, tap it, extend it back up. You might get a little higher each time. Tap the knee, extend back up, straighten both legs. Tap the right knee to the left knee, extend it back up. Tap the right knee left and hold it up. Nice. Now let's try your balance again. Hinge, slowly coming up. Airplane arms, arms out to the side. Find your balance. Flex your back right foot, extend it, level out those hips. And then take the hands back to the floor, feet together, forward fold. A little relief for that glute, right? So hopefully you're feeling the glutes working. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend those knees, step back to your plank. Find your strength. Again, hollow out the belly. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Push into those toes. Slowly lower Chaturanga. Exhaling. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And breathe. Inhale and exhale. Let's find our downward facing dog. Lengthen through the spine. Spread out those fingers. Relax those shoulders. Good. Now I want you to melt your left heel into the floor. Bring your right leg up. Good. Bend that right knee. Slide that knee towards the right hand. Pigeon. Sliding into pigeon. One of my favorite postures. I want you to shift your hips side to side. This is where also put a block under your hip if you're super far from the floor on that right side. Otherwise, melt down. That right hip is on the floor. Your left knee and the left top of your foot are on the floor. And then you're going to melt forward towards your front leg. So it's a great hamstring and glute stretch for the right side. And you probably might be feeling the left hip flexor. And just melt. If it feels really challenging or straining the right side, I want you to just shift your hips gently side to side to let the muscles know and the tissue know that you're being gentle with them and not forcing anything. Option to reach the arms in front as well. Again, these are just variations. You choose what feels good to you. The goal is no pain. Give me 2 more full, gentle, long, slow breaths. See if you can relax your shoulders. And then we'll start to walk our hands in closer to the body. And lift up and open up. And just breathe. Feel the stretch through the hip, the left hip, the belly. I'm going to give a little option here. Option to bring your thumb to your heart space or right at your chest, left thumb. That might be challenging. Try the right. Option 3, both. Now that can be super challenging if your hips don't hit the floor or you're having any low back stuff going on, then just don't go there. Keep your hands on the floor. And then bring those hands back down. Tuck your back toe. Let's find our downward facing dog. Slide that right leg back and pedal out your feet. Feel that whoosh, feel the hip. Releasing that blood flow. Now you're going to take your left leg up. Find your 3-legged dog. Bend the knee. Bring it forward. We're just going right to the other side. Walk it back. Now this is where you want to do that shifting. So that hip, if your hip is really high on that left side, you can always stick a block under it. So that's an option. Or a blanket or a pillow. And then you're going to shift side to side, adjust your back right leg. So the knee is on the floor and the top of the foot is on the floor. And just shift your body. And then as you shift into it, start to walk your hands forward. We just say we're melting into our posture. You want it to feel good. You can have your hands stacked. You can have your head on the floor, arms out front. They can be resting, they can be reaching. Again, they're just variations of what feels good for you. Try to relax your shoulders a little bit. Reaching those arms. The key here also is focusing on your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Pay attention to what you're feeling in the hip, the hamstring, that glute. 2 more breaths here. After your second breath, Take your time walking up with those hands, opening up the chest. Feel the belly lengthening. Feel that right hip flexor, relax the shoulders. Maybe you want to bring your thumb to your chest, heart space. Maybe the other one. Try each one. See which one's harder. Maybe both. Again, optional. And when we bring our hands to the floor, we're going to sit on our left hip. I want you to just bring your right leg in front and straighten out both legs to the front of your mat. And give them a shake. Pull out those glutes so you're sitting on those sits bones. Nice and tall. Take a deep breath. Inhale, reach those fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. And just rock side to side. Now, reaching wherever feels good to you. Now, maybe your toes are far, far away. That's okay. You can hold behind your knees. You can let your hands rest on the floor. Ankles, it's whatever feels okay to you. Shake out those legs. Maybe you interlace the fingers or wrap around the outside of the feet. Just a gentle rock, side to side, checking in with that low back. Let all the tension, the stress, any mind chatter, just exhale it out. Walk your hands slowly up the thighs. Lift up nice and tall. And take a deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms, and exhale, twist to your left. Place your right hand on the outside of the left knee. Just give your upper body a little twist. Look as far behind you as you can. Towards your back wall. And then slowly release. Rotate to the right. And then we're going to come back to center. I want you to take your right ankle and cross it over your left thigh. Make sure you can rotate that ankle all the way, and then we're going to sit up nice and tall. So you're doing a figure 4. Now you're going to take your hands behind your back and press the palms into the floor. Now your fingertips can be facing your body or away, whichever feels better on your shoulders, because you're going to need a little bit of support here as you lean backwards, and you're going to bend your left knee. Yes, the left, the one that the right, and you're going to goal is to try to get your heel to the floor, maybe the foot flat. Progress, bring your heel closer to your body or your hip closer to your heel. Maybe slide the foot down. Make adjustments. Maybe you're here and that's as far as you can go. That's okay. It takes practice and time. Use those fingertips to press your chest towards your shin, and make sure you can move that right foot. That right knee is pushing gently open. So you feel that nice glute stretch. Gently draw both legs to your left, just slightly. So you're bringing your knee closer to your chest. And you're breathing, trying to sit up as tall as you can. Enjoy that glute stretch. Rotate the ankle. And then come back to center with that leg. Bend those elbows behind you and straighten out the left leg. And then hug that right knee and just an extra twist to the right. Holding on to the right knee with the left, you might get a little further now with your twist. Might be a little easier too with that glute. More flexibility. And you should feel really good on that low back. And then we're going to slowly release. Hands behind the back, straighten out the legs. Give them a shake, readjust. Pull those glutes out. Sit on those sits bones. Pull the left foot ankle across the right thigh and rotate the left ankle. Sitting up tall, we forget and we slouch. I have to remind myself too. That's just normal, we forget. Go ahead and bring the hands behind the back. Open up the chest, bend your right knee. So now a goal, again, just getting your heel to the floor. Maybe that's for you. Maybe you're flat, the foot's flat foot, or sliding your hips closer to your heel. Everybody's at, again, different place. Adjust the foot, rotate that left ankle, bringing your chest as close to the shin, the left shin that you feel comfortable going to. So you're feeling that nice stretch in that left butt cheek and hip. rotate the opposite way. Now slide, flex your left foot, slide both legs slightly to your right. Bring your knee closer to your chest. You should be going, ooh, ah, feels so good, right? This is one of my favorite ones as well. Nice, good, deep glute and hip stretch. Now you're going to come back to center with the legs. Go ahead, slide your hips away from that leg as it straightens out. And then hug your left knee into the chest. Nice big stretch, twisting to your left. Looking behind you, hugging that left knee with your right hand or arm. One more breath. Lift tall through the spine. And then we're going to release. Scoot your body a little bit closer to the front of your mat. Let's find our boat. Engaging the core. So you worked it a little at the beginning. Let's tie it in. Get it nice and strong towards the end. A little pressure on those thighs. Just a little. Now if it starts to go into your low back, then don't put pressure on it. Maybe hold the back of the thighs, because I never want you to feel your low back, or just have your arms in front resting, like just holding them in air. Lots of variation options. Now I want you to straighten out the left leg. Lower it slightly and hold. Feel that core working, pressing into that right thigh. Relax your shoulders. Now I want you to switch legs. Pull the left knee towards the chest slightly, but you're still pressuring it with the left hand. Straighten the right leg. Embrace that shakiness. Good. Both knees up. Pull it towards the body and then lengthen. Really lengthen the legs and hover right above the ground. And then all the way onto your back. Gentle squeeze of your knees into your chest and bring your feet to the floor. Solid earth. Wonderful. Walk your heels towards your hips. Reach your fingertips towards your heels. Let's take a bridge. Pressing. Pull the belly in. Pressing through the bottoms of the feet. Now when you come up, think about lengthening the back, but not arching and pushing the hips up. You're just lengthening. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Option to reach the arms overhead. Draw the knees in just slightly. And then bring the arms by the body as you lower the hips to the floor. Excellent. And then bring your arms to cactus arms. And we're going to bring the right ankle across that left thigh again. Right ankle across the left thigh. And then drop both knees to your right. A little extra stretch through that left front of the hip. And turn your head maybe to the left and just enjoy. Option to reach your left arm overhead. Really getting an extra stretch there. Flex your right ankle. We're almost there. We got to do one more final hamstring stretch to see how much more flexible they are. Go ahead and bend your left elbow. Bring it back. Bring your head to neutral. Push your belly into your spine as you lift the knees back to neutral. And then uncross your right ankle. Place the foot on the floor. Cross your left ankle over the right thigh. Open up that left knee. Drop both knees to your left and turn your head to the right. Take a deep breath in, let it out. Notice the hips. Option to reach your right arm overhead. And maybe the right side's tighter than the left. Maybe it was the left. Just notice the difference. Go ahead and bring your head to neutral. Bend your right elbow, bring it back to cactus arms. Pull the belly in before you start to bring those knees back up to neutral, and then uncross the left from the right. Both feet flat. I want you to bring your right knee towards the chest. Extend that right heel to the sky. Just like we did at the beginning. Relax the shoulders. Maybe slide the hands up the thigh slightly or to the calf. Again, it's up to you. Try straightening out your left leg. So both legs are straight. The left leg is straight out to the end of your mat on the floor, and your right leg is to the sky. You can rotate your ankle both directions. Some of you might be able to reach your toe, or you can use a strap or a belt or a towel. and just breathe. Relax your shoulders and just feel how much more loose your legs are. And hopefully your back feels a little better too, in case you had any tension there. Go ahead and release that right leg. Place the foot flat on the floor, knee is bent. Bring that left leg up to the sky. We're holding behind the left thigh. Maybe some circles with the ankle. Check in with the hips. Relax your hips first, then straighten your right leg. Again, option where you go with your hands. Maybe you keep them behind the thigh. Maybe you move them up to the calf. Some of you might be able to reach your toe or your foot. As long as it's not out to the side, keep it centered. And just notice the difference. Maybe one side is more calf than hamstring. It means you're normal. We all have one side tighter than the other. And just breathe. And then we're going to release that foot. Place it on the floor. Adjust on your mat so you're centered. And then go ahead and straighten out the legs and let your arms rest. Find your Shavasana. Closing your eyes, palms are up, let your legs fall open. Now, as your legs fall open, I want you to check in with what you're feeling in your feet and your legs. Maybe you feel blood flow. Maybe it feels very cool because you release some stuck tissue. And just breathe. Feel the shoulders and the chest relax with each breath. Thank your body for all it's done for you today. Take another deep, long, gentle breath in through the nose and out through the nose. One more breath, eyes closed. On your exhale, breathe through the mouth. Then wiggle your fingers, your toes. Maybe turn your toes up to the sky. Let them fall back open. And we're going to bend the knees. Now you're welcome to turn to one side. You can hug the knees into your chest. And then we're going to press ourselves gently up. All the way, coming to a nice, tall, easy seat. Sukhasana. Get the funky hair after laying on the back. Tuck your chin in, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Check in with your posture and your back and your hips. Nice and loose. Take a deep breath in, all the way up. Press the palms together, coming to heart space. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.